Ultra Squad. Listen, man, how y'all doing today, man? Look, new to my content, man. I try to react to anything and everything, you know what I'm saying? Sports, basketball, horror, comedy, we with it all. Everything, okay? If you got any videos you want me to react to, leave them in the comments below, man. All right, look, Wilt Chamberlain on the rumor that he slept with 20,000 women late night with Conan O'Brien. Bro, 20,000 women, that's a lot. That's a lot of women, you know what I'm saying? Hey, man, you know, Wilt Chamberlain used to get busy, not just on the court, off the court too, you know what I'm saying?
My God! I'm taller than everybody that comes on this show, then you've just thrown the whole curve off. How tall are you exactly?
5'11" and a half.
Oh, now I'm really depressed.
It's a big half. The last half is a big
Last
half.
half. Conan is pretty tall. Like, what Conan about, like 6'3", something like that? Is that Thunder or Demon Aliens? Can't tell. Whatever.
Congratulations on the book coming out, Who's Running the Asylum. You have some, make some pretty interesting statements here. You talk about, in your prime, how you think you would have maybe stacked up against Shaquille O'Neal.
See, look at this.
Well, what do you think would have happened, you versus Shaquille O'Neal today? Because people sometimes lump the two of you together.
Yeah, because
I really do admire and love how, like, Will was always honest, how he felt about people crowning MJ to be the greatest of all time while he was even still playing, bro. Like, even before he like won like his last 3 championships, basically. And Will had a problem with that. You know, he like, look, I'm Will. Y'all forgot about me? Y'all must have forgot. You know what I'm saying? Like, Will always been honest about how he feel like, oh, I probably would have done this. I probably would have been able to dominate around this time. Hey, it's his feelings. But if somebody like LeBron do it, I'm the greatest of all time. Oh, it's the issue. Y'all just don't like certain people, bro. You know what I'm saying?
both terrible foul shooters. But other than that, Shaquille and I is like comparing me with Clark Gable. In this case, I'm Clark Gable and he's me. No, he played.
I thought you were going to be self-effacing for a second, and then
no, nothing like
Screw that.
No, he plays an entirely different type of basketball game than I do. He uses his physicality, and he's a big, strong young man, and that works well in today's game.
What does that mean? Like that should work in any game, right? Like you're saying Shaq uses his physicality, right? That means he would probably overpower you, right? Because Shaq is bigger than you. Like, he's girthy now. No pause, because I don't care about that, you know what I'm saying? Childish. But, bro, come on, man. Like, he basically, come on, I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into it.
Facing me and other guys of my time, not so good. I mean, I'm a guy bench pressing around 600 pounds when I was at my best.
600 pounds?
Yeah, right.
Oh, okay, my fault. So he's basically saying it worked in the game that Shaq's playing at that time. You know, because I guess he's saying everybody else is soft, and he's saying people like me, you wouldn't do that with me, you know, it wouldn't be so good for you, because we were strong too, Shaq. Okay.
So, I'm at 5'10", that's pretty good. I'll just work on it a little while. I'll be in your league, my friend.
Right. That's why you better be rather nice to me here, you know. And I'm a little surprised, because I know you want to talk about a subject that is dear to my heart.
Well, we got to talk about this.
Yeah.
You made a statement, and his statement...
Hey, Will had an ego, okay. He wanted people to know things, you know what I'm saying? Look, he brought it up.
I follow you around for a while that you slept with 20,000 women. You made that statement.
Yeah, now listen, there is double standard. Like, you see how everybody just cheered, you know, for him. You know, I could be devil's advocate, you know what I'm saying? They cheered when Will did it, but if a woman did it, you know what I'm saying, it would have been a little different. But I get it though. But no, unnecessarily. If it was a woman celebrity and somebody said and she said that, depending on who it was, they probably would have cheered too.
Now, and I gotta say, that's the kind of thing that you say, and then people bring it up later on.
Especially
20,000 women.
people like you, right?
Exactly.
Right,
well, it's not just me. Have you seen? There's a clock in Times Square. Take a look at this thing.
Let me see.
It's pretty incredible.
Yeah,
I didn't think that.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Now I'm curious.
Yeah. Listen, I'm
curious. I want to know about my family share. That's the part I'm curious about.
Well, first of all, it was encounters. But, you know, I thought maybe one of the reasons you invited me on the show was to give me an award from the Board of Education. Because whenever people see me now, they go, 20,000 And let's see, he must have started when he was like 15, and he's now maybe 55. So let's see, 20,365 into 20,000, and you know, and then
So you're getting people thinking.
not only that, I'm teaching them mathematics, which is really the whole story here. You understand?
I don't think that's going to be a word problem for kids. If Wilt Chamberlain is with 10 women on a train headed east.
That's right. There you go. That's right. And when he gets to Missouri.
God.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, but.
But on the serious side of that, though, you know, just so women don't think me of being really whatever, the number was to make a statement about something, and it was not ever to sort of like belittle the ladies that I've.
I like how he trying to, like, you know, like, look, but it's not about degrading women, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I don't treat women as objects, you know, even though I slept with so many of them, you know what I'm saying? Like a hobby, you know, it's cool, you know, but ladies are empowered human beings, you know. I'm so honored that they gave me this opportunity to have this intimate moment with them. Yo, we know what's up. That's that player talk, you know what I'm saying?
And make them just another number. In fact, in my book, they were a number, really great looking numbers they were, you know what I'm saying? But what I was trying to say in my book.
20,000.
20,000, right.
That's all I'm thinking as you're talking. I'm not hearing any of this.
There's nothing wrong with short romance.
You keep fading out and the number 20,000 comes in.
There's nothing wrong with short romance, believe me.
Short romance.
As long as it's a happy thing, going on, right, believe me. But the idea was to say that, you know, sex really rules the world. And that, you know, for men who think that having 1,000 different women is really cool, I have found out. But you have to first find out that having one woman 1,000 different times is what's really happening.
Oh. But how'd you...
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's what's happening. Yeah.
Okay.
Now go ahead.
So you had sex 1,000 times with each of the 20,000. That's what I'm thinking now. I'm really impressed now.
It takes stamina. It takes stamina.
All right, well, let's talk about another number, all right?
Go ahead.
Hey, everybody say Wilt was a different animal, man. He was a different type of special human being, you know?
Number 100 points in one game, which I believe was versus the Knicks, 1962.
That's right. Yeah.
Is that right?
It's a long time
Was
ago.
there
Right.
Was there a point, 100 points in one game, was there a point where just the other team, like, left and made sandwiches on the bench? I mean...
Well, I really wish it was. Actually, they were really very embarrassed about the whole thing. Understand? And so they were mad at me, you know, and I was just out there trying to have fun.
Did you start to, like, at 85 points, did you start to feel bad a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
and the people
I'll just try and miss this one, 100 points.
And I did that. I know. I did that. Then my mother scolded me when I got home. You should be ashamed of yourself. You know, it was not an easy night.
No.
Yeah, because I had a lot of friends on the Knicks.
Let's talk about, Michael Jordan. I'm curious. Michael Jordan, say we had a time machine here, and we could send Michael Jordan back to the Civil War. No, that's stupid. What if, that's just my own fantasy, you know.
Right, okay.
What if we could send Michael Jordan back to playing basketball with you in your prime? All right? How do you think he would do in those days?
Well, first of all, I'm glad you said with me, you know, and not again me. Michael Jordan is one of those rare specimens that could have played at any particular time and is a gifted athlete who is using those gifts in basketball incredibly so. He has been the liaison between something that's not so good and making it great for all the rest. I think that almost every man in the NBA should give him 10% of their checks.
Now, what would his playing style, how would that have translated back then?
Well, his playing style is he's 6'7" and he's like 197 pounds. Coming into what we call our domain, the pivot for us big guys, would not have been very wise of Michael, you know, if he was playing during our time. So we would say, Michael, you know, as long as you do all those fancy things outside of where we are, that's fine. So it wouldn't have been good for Michael.
Really?
See, I find that very fascinating because, like, a lot of people will say the majority of people on Earth consider Michael Jordan the GOAT, and then when I hear like other aspects of it, you know what I'm saying? Other people think other people the GOAT. You know, some people think Wilt's the GOAT, Kareem's the GOAT, Larry's the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? Any other person, like, and hearing older people like Wilt say this about like, oh, it wouldn't have been good for Michael. Michael's not tough, because everybody always talk about how tough and mean and dominant Michael Jordan was and all that stuff, bro. Like, you know, other people say this like Wilt, and it makes you question things.
No.
You think he'd have been crushed, is what you're saying?
I don't think. I know he'd been crushed.
Really? He just wouldn't have worked back then?
No, he would have came in there once or twice.
What about the 360-degree whip-around dunk? What would people have thought of that at the time?
Well, you know what? I'm glad you said that because, you see, the mentality of the fan today is wonderful, and they've learned to accept showbiz.
Right.
And Michael is the epitome of showbiz, along with that great talent. During my time, if you did a 360, first of all, the opposition would take it as an insult that you would try to do something like that against them. The coach on your own team, if you weren't at least 90,000 points ahead, would bench you. And the fans would look at you like, well, he's the biggest hot dog in the world.
So you're saying Michael Jordan back then would have been on the bench the whole time?
Absolutely, you know, being considered a hot dog. Think about that. And that's the truth.
Really?
But now in Chicago, if he doesn't give you one of those 360s you're talking about, even though their team is 90 points ahead, they're looking for something spectacular.
The fans will turn on
you.
you.
You're right.
Back then it was more about teamwork, working together.
Absolutely.
What's happened to basketball?
Were you a basketball player?
Who, me? Well, I used to like to play basketball, but and I had the height and everything. I lacked what's called coordination, and it's true. And I found out later that you need that. I didn't wear. I was one of those guys who's like, to me, you know, and then and I'd get it, and I fell a lot. I wept openly sometimes during the game. It was just a messy thing.
Well, that could be a problem. You know you know.
Yeah, but still, I'd have given you a run for your money.
Yeah, I hear you. Okay.
All right, now we'll talk about a record. So this blew me away, but you're a competitive guy,
I think so.
And you, I didn't know this. This translates into your personal life. You like to drive cross country, and some people do. I've driven cross country a few times. I enjoy it. But you like to do it really fast. Is that the case?
Absolutely.
How fast are we talking about here?
Well, we're talking about trying to average up in the 130s and go as high as 175, 180 miles an hour. You know, and that's a non-stop drive from like New York.
And this is in a Volkswagen Bug. That's the impressive
well,
thing.
I did a commercial for Volkswagen. It's with a little different engine, but you know.
But what are you talking about? How can you go that fast and not be constantly pulled over? What happens?
Well, you have to be clever. You have to use your eyes.
What do you mean clever? You're going 180 miles an hour. Everything's a blur. You're just birds are just piling up on your windshield.
A clever bird, a clever blur.
You like to.
How do you get away with that?
This I found kind of interesting, but you have a method for sort of like killing time.
Yeah.
When you see that you're 6 miles out of Denver and you're on the road going 150 miles an hour, what do you do to try and kill?
I hold my breath and see if I can hold my breath all the way to Denver. You understand? Like it was 8 or 9 miles away, you know, and so I work, you know, I got to work my way up. But when I start in New York, I can only hold my breath about like a minute. And by the time I'm halfway across the country, I can get up to almost 5.5 minutes. You know, and holding my breath.
Holding your breath. What I would love to see, I would love to see the policeman who pulls you over.
Right.
Going 125 miles an hour, pulls you over, walks up, looks into the windshield. It's Wilt Chamberlain there, and he goes. And then passes out. So that's just to amuse yourself.
Well, yeah, it is, and I sure wouldn't advise anyone to do it because.
What's wrong with Wilt? What the heck is wrong with it? What be in his mind, man? This is crazy.
Dumbest things that one could possibly do.
Thanks for adding that. They don't like people out there holding their breath to the point of passing out while they're driving a car 125 miles an hour.
And you definitely can pass out.
You like to water ski at great speeds.
Yeah, I tried for the quarter-mile water ski speed record at 126 miles an hour it was. You know, and
you can't water ski 125 miles an hour.
Well, I can, and I did. You got to have big feet, man. You understand? You know, it helps out.
You didn't use
No,
skis?
I use skis. In fact, I thought you had
you
big
did
feet.
125 miles. I would just love to see the old fisherman now sitting on the dock. And
right, that's exactly right.
I think that was Wilt Chamberlain going by.
Well, we used to ski on the Sacramento River in California.
Get so close like
and
that.
there was a highway right by the river. And the cars would be going 70, 80 miles an hour, and we would just run on past the cars. You know, and then we would slow up and see their expressions on their face because they couldn't believe it either.
Okay, well, there's that and plenty more in this book, Who's Running the Asylum, The Insane World of Sports Today. And it was great to meet you, finally.
Well,
very nice to have you on the program. Can you come back sometime?
I'm going to tell you something. I enjoy your program. I really watch it. So I want to say it to you. You are funny. You understand? You are funny. You really are.
It's nice of you to say.
Right.
Finally, thank you.
Okay, thank
Someone
you.
who admits they've seen the show.
I've seen the show.
He actually watched
times.
the show. All right, Wilt Chamberlain, thank you very much. Married Chapin Carpenter.
All right, guys. Look, man, that was interesting. Conan is funny, man. Conan, I didn't know Conan was on that long. I didn't know Conan was on that long, and he's been going for so long. Shout out to Conan, man. Hey, man. If you enjoyed the video, man, make sure you leave a like, leave a comment down below. That was pretty funny. And subscribe to the Older Squad. We out.